So the women and the sisters that are watching this, you can share this message with your husbands or boyfriends, even your sons. You know, what kind of man is he, or what kind of man is he going to become? You know, are you a lying, cheating, one woman after another kind of man, or a faithful, honest, one woman kind of man? You know, it took me a lot of years to come to a one woman kind of man. You know, I was out there doing a whole lot of the other thing. But we got to come to a place where we don't do that anymore. You know, think about, would you want your sisters or your daughters to have a man like that? You know, cheating, lying, from this woman to that woman and this girl to that girl? I don't think so. So, you know, to the men out there, think about what you're doing and how you're doing things, the example you're setting for your sons, and it's fine for your daughters. So I'm going to go down a list of things and see where you fall, and then we'll chop it up. How are your eyes, your mind, your lips, your feet, and your hands? And I've been putting a little bit of stuff on my Facebook page. So with our eyes, you know, our eyes can get us into trouble, and we need to really watch it. People say that you shouldn't be looking at another woman, but if you're a man and you're human, you're gonna look. But that's the problem. How is that look? What kind of look is it? Is it just like, wow, it's just a nice looking woman? Or is it a look of lust, checking her out from head to toe? That's what's going to get you in trouble. You know, checking her out and following, you know, those thoughts. So that's where the mind comes in. You know, does this sound like you? I can resist everything except temptation. Kind of sounds funny, huh? I can resist everything except for temptation. Our lips. Be very careful with your words and who you speak to, or how you speak to another woman. You know, you say something or you throw something out over there and see if she's going to play along with it. Gotta watch out. Be careful. Our feet. Do you have quick feet? If something's thrown at you, are you going to stand around? Or are you going to split and say, you know what, I'm not even going to entertain that or address it? Our hands. Bottom line, just keep your hands to yourself. Because if you don't, you're going to get yourself in trouble. So we'll go back to the first thing, the eyes. And there's a difference between looking and looking with lust. If you go to the book of Samuel, 2 Samuel chapter 11, you'll see how David got in trouble with his looks, or how he looked at Bathsheba, and what mess that caused. So when you get a chance, 2 Samuel chapter 11, our mind is where the enemy seeks to control us, and if he can influence our minds, he'll influence our behavior, because that's when you're feeding into it. So you got to watch that. Our lips, and that means the words. A committed man is not a flirt, and he don't play games with other women. You know? So you got to watch that. Be very careful with the words you use, or the words you're throwing out to another woman. It could be at work, could be even in church. It happens in church. You know, the devil's at church all the time, seeing who you can get to stumble up. And just a little side note, save all your compliments for your girlfriend or your wife. All right? Feet. A faithful man has quick feet. He knows when to flee. In the book of Genesis, chapter 39, there's a story about a young man named Joseph. And Joseph worked for this man named Potiphar. And Potiphar's wife was always trying to get at Joseph. And one day she sets it up that he's going to be in the house alone with her. And she throws throws herself at Joseph. And Joseph takes off. He ran. He didn't stick around like David. He took off. He got in trouble because she told a bunch of lies about what he did, but can you be like Joseph when temptation comes? Can you run? Do you have quick feet? Or you just stick around a little bit? Have quick feet. Get out of there. Hands. And this is, you probably heard it when you were young, or your parents should have told you. Or later on in life you had to learn it. Keep your hands to yourself. That's a good piece of advice, huh? So with all that, I'm just talking to the men. You know, in Proverbs chapter 5, it talks about how we should be as a man. And this one scripture, it really hit me. It's chapter 5, verse 15. It says, drink water from your own cistern, running water from your own well. I didn't understand that till I'd done a little research on that particular chapter. And back then, trip out what it says. It says that everyone had a well back then. And the wells were privately owned and of great value. And that's what he's talking about. To drink out of your own well. He's speaking about your wife. Only sip out of that well. And then look how it says. It was privately owned and of great value. And that's how we have to have or see our women that we're with. Of great value. You know, some of you sisters are probably watching this and saying, yeah, my husband needs to watch this, or my son needs to watch this. There's a lot of women out there that, you know, the story goes, and it takes two to tango. So if the man's doing it, he's doing it with somebody out there. So there's a lot of sisters out there, and a lot of women that have done what we've done. So just remember, but this is just towards the men, again. Drink out of your own well. Dip into your own well. Don't be dipping into somebody else's well. It'll come to a ruin, you know, so don't do it. So again, I just thank you for allowing us to share it, and God bless.